So today is the 143rd Kentucky Derby. I'll be going to Golden Gate Fields at Berkeley, California to place a bet on this race. I've been a big horse racing fan, but the first time I bet at the Kentucky Derby was in 1999. In that year, I bet on Charismatic. And the reason I bet on Charismatic was three of the following reasons. One is he ran second at the El Camino Real Derby, which used to run at the old Bay Meadows racetrack at San Mateo. In addition, second, he also had the highest Beyer speed figure at the time of 107. What a Beyer speed figure is determines in horse racing how fast a horse goes. And third, he was 31 to 1 in terms of his odds. So, as a novice bettor, I put a $2 bet, and he won. So I was elated when I won over $60. In 2000, I didn't bet on the Kentucky Derby. However, from 2001 to 2012, when I bet on the Kentucky Derby, I was a big fat donut, no wins. The closest I came was to winning the race was betting on Hardspun in 2007, who finished second. But 2013 was the first time that I won the bet on the Kentucky Derby, and actually also 2014 too. Also, so during those 2 years, I correctly bet on Orb and California Chrome to win the Kentucky Derby. But 2013 was sort of an important anniversary, and I wanted to discuss with that. 2013 was the 40th anniversary of Secretariat's 40th year Triple Crown win. So what I tried to do was to make a bet, not only the winner, but in terms of exotic bets. Exotic bets is where you make a lot of money in horse racing if you correctly select those type of bets. And you have the exacta bets, which is the first or second place horse. The trifecta is the first, second, and third, and the superfecta is first, second, and third, and fourth. Those are really hard bets to come by to win. It's hard enough to pick one horse to win the race, but to actually pick them in correct order, it's really difficult. But if you are fortunate to pick those horses in those order, you might get a big payout. So in 2013, what I tried to do, since it was Secretariat's 40th year anniversary, was to look at the pedigree angle and to select horses that had his pedigree. In terms of doing a lot of analyzing and handicapping, I picked 3 horses. I tried to do a superfecta, but I couldn't. In terms of the analysis, I picked 3 horses. I picked Orb, Revolutionary, and Normandy Invasion to finish 1, 2, 3. And the reason I picked those 3 horses is not because they had Secretariat's blood in their pedigree, but they also had, it was through his grandson, A.P. Indy, who also ran his race at Bay Meadows. So I picked those 3 horses just to finish 1, 2, 3. Well, they almost finished 1, 2, 3. They end up finishing first, third, and fourth. So I was happy that Orb won, but at the same time, I was like, man, I was so close to winning that trifecta. So the horse that came in second was Golden Soul. And after the race, I did some analysis and actually had Secretariat's blood in his pedigree. Do I regret not selecting Golden Soul? No, because his race record at the time didn't merit a top 4 finish. In fact, most of his races he would finish either 4th or lower, and that was a fluke race for Golden Soul, as he never in his next races he never approached. I believe he never approached top 2 in his races. So what I have here is this is the actual results of that race. So Orb, Golden Soul, Revolutionary, Enormity, Invasion. So if I had selected Golden Soul as a part of my superfecta, for a $1 bet, I would have won 28,540. That might seem like it's in hindsight, but at the same time, I never expected him to finish second. As I said, it was a fluke race, and at that time, during that race, it was raining. So I'm not gonna feel sad. I was very late in that Orb one, but hey, that's horse racing, stuff happens. Sometimes it's luck. Mostly it is luck. So I showed you this breakdown right here in terms of what the pedigree line, and as you see, for the first, third, and fourth horses, I had them in my trifecta because of they had Secretary in the blood. Well, the second horse had also Secretary in the blood. But so I wrote down also the conclusion that three of them, in terms of the top four, had AP Indy, who was a grandson of Secretariat, and the one horse who had the non-AP Indy blood, Golden Soul, was by a sire who was a grandson of Secretariat. So that's sort of how I selected my picks back in 2013, because it was Secretariat's 40th year anniversary. That I thought, okay, let's see if there are any of his bloodlines in any of the horses would do well. And in fact, they did well. You had the top four right there with his blood. So today is the 40th anniversary of Seattle Slew's Triple Crown celebration. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you in terms of what my selections, and I'm basing it off that it's a 40th year anniversary. So here we go. So as you can see, the horse that I got first was Taprith, who has a direct lineage of Seattle Slew. If you'll see the sire line, this is what I wrote down. That Taprith is his father is Tappet, whose father was Pulpit, whose father was AP Indy, who's a son of Seattle Slew. So that's actually my first choice, and then you'll see some of the other horses like Irap and Hans and Gormley. That all four of these have Seattle Slew in their blood, and I'm going to show you here. Here's sort of my reasoning of terms of why I selected with hope either a trifecta or a superfecta with these races. So with the second place horse Irap, who won his last race, which was the Bluegrass Stakes, he had, in terms of the pedigree layout, it's almost similar to Golden Soul, as his sire line has as with Golden Soul had Secretary in his blood. Irap has Seattle Slew in his blood. However, Irap doesn't have AP Indy in his blood. So maybe it could be a second chance. Who knows? But that's the reason why I selected Irap as my second choice. And then the third and the fourth, I try to do something, let's say, with 2013. So, in a sense, this selection is based off, for this year's Kentucky Derby, is based off what I did in 2013, in terms of a tribute of the Triple Crown winner, the 40th year anniversary. So, will they show up? Will this be the correct winners for this year? The first, the second, the third, and fourth? If it is, man, I hit the jackpot, the major jackpot. So I'm not going to, hedge my, money or anything like that. But I'll bet Tapper to win. But if I do hit the trifecta or the superfecta, I totally hit the jackpot. I think what I'm going to do is minimum is just to bet Tapwrith, which is called across the board. Across the board is win, place, and show. That means if the horse finished second, third, and first, second, and third, you get the first and second and third place money. So that's one thing I would recommend for anybody who's been in the Derby, is to bet across the board. Select one horse and just just say to your teller, I want to bet across the board on this horse. So that way, if it finishes first, second, and third, that horse wins. And if that horse finishes first, you'll get not only the first place money, the second place money, but also the third place money. So that's my analysis for the Kentucky Derby for this year. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that this will happen, but if you see the results from 2013 and try to make a comparison and try to relate it to this year's race because of the 40th anniversary of the Triple Crown winners, we'll see what happens. And as you see right now, I said the same summary as I did the conclusion. That 3 of the horses had APND in their blood and 1 of them didn't. So who knows? If it holds to fruition, you heard it here first on YouTube.